Paragraph Zion, 7th chapter of the book of Shir Hashirim. Shuvi, Shuvi, Ashulamit, Shuvi, Shuvi, Neches Ebach, Ma Techazu Bashulamit, Ke Micholot Hamachanayim. Turn back, turn back. You made of Shulam, turn back that we may gaze upon you. Why will you gaze at the Shulamit in the Machanayim's dance? So the most understanding is that this is the man who is speaking now. It is God. He's praising the woman at this point, the lover, and he's going to describe her female beauty, and he's going to describe her with precious objects and very detailed. Mayafu pa'amayach ba'ne'alim. Bat nidiv chamukei yirechayich kamo chalaim aseh yedei aman. How lovely are your feet in sandals. What about without sandals? O daughters of nobles, your rounded thighs are like jewels, the work of master's hands. We said many times, the man seems to come from his royalty, is Shlomo, it's a person of a wealthy family, and a lot of descriptions of jewels and fine items, fine materials, fine spices. Sharerech agan hasahar al yachzer hamazeg bitnei charamet chitim suga bashoshanim. Your navel's like a round goblet, like mixed wine that has no lacking. Your belly like a heap of wheat hedged among the lilies. Here, interestingly, where it talks about the round goblet, the rabbis who, of course, read this book, as we've said many times, an allegory, an idea, a metaphor to love between God and the Jewish people, talk about the Sanhedrin, the Jewish, we'll call it Supreme Court, who would sit in a circle in the Lishkat Hagazit, in one of the chambers on the Harabait, Beit HaMikdash, before, of course, the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. They were round. That it's a description of the beauty of the Sanhedrin. I don't know if it's about its physical beauty, but more about its intellectual beauty, the way they would lead the Jewish people in their, judgment that the Jewish people would have. Shnei shadayich kishnei afarim ta'amei tzivya. Your breasts are like two fawns, twins of gazelle. We've talked many times about the flowers, about the plants, and about the animals. A lot of nature in here. The book connected with the land of Israel as part of that allegory of the love between God and the Jewish people. Tzavarech kimigdal hashein einayich berechot becheshbon. Al sha'ar bat rabim apeich kemigdal halibanon sofet pnei damesek. Your neck is like a tower of ivory, your eyes like pools in Cheshbon by the gates of Bat Rabim, your nose like the Lebanon tower that faces towards Damascus. This is how great your beauty is, that it goes all the way to these. It goes all the way to these parts. It goes all the way with this understanding, all the way to Lebanon, all the way to these other places. And it concludes, his portion of this chapter. Roshech alaych Carmel, v'dalat Roshech ka'argaman, melech asur. Ba rehatim, the head upon you is like crimson wool, the locks of your hair are purple. A king is held captive in the tresses. And so here we have these verses that are very much about her beauty, comparing her to graceful and precious objects, highlighting her exceptional qualities. So if we go back into the previous chapters where it was the female, the Jewish people talking about God, and we talked about, despite all the threats, despite the her searching for her lover and being injured by the Shomrim, and it being sort of the idea, according to the allegory, that it is about the Jewish people who, in their devotion to God, has been hit and hurt and punished and has remained graceful and is praising God despite God's hester panim, despite God not being there, despite the difficulties. Here we have God presumably appreciating that and saying back, talking about the beauty of the Jewish people, comparing the Jewish people to beautiful objects, the exceptional qualities of the Sanhedrin, of the different people, of the mitzvot that we do. Continue in verse 7. We take a little bit of a turn, even though it's in the same, it's not clear. In verse 7, it seems the man is still speaking, but now he goes from talking about her beauty to now wanting intimacy, wanting a union, wanting a marriage. Ma yafitu ma na'amt ahava bata'anugim. How fair are you? How beautiful, O love, with all of its ta'anog, all of its beauty, all of its rapture, all of its enjoyment. Zot komatech Damta letamar v'shadaich leashkolot. Your form is like the palm. Your breasts are like clusters. Amarti e'ele v'tamar ochaza bisan sina v'yuna shadaich keshkalot hagefen v'reach apeicha tapuchim. Let me climb the palm. Let me take hold of its branches. Your breasts like clusters of grapes, your breath like the fragrance of apples. Seen here why some of this is not translated literally in certain translation, but he's talking about the embrace. He's talking about the two of them to be together. It describes your beauty. God says to the Jewish people, now let us be together. Let us have what the mystics called unio mystica. Let us come together and be united together. So whether it's a metaphor about God and the Jewish people, whether it's an expression of love between two lovers, between partners, between a husband and wife, saying the same thing, this desire for this intimacy. And come back to what I've said so many times over the last number of days. This book is so much about longing and so much about missed opportunity. As in, the previous chapters where he was there in chapter 5, he was waiting for her at the door and she was sleeping. And then by the time she goes and she opens the gate, his hand is off the latch. He's not there anymore. She doesn't know where he is and she's searching for him. So this yearning, over again for the two of them to be together. It's not so simple, and the missed opportunities in relationships with others, whether it be friendships or whether it be with your life partner or whether it be with God. This idea of taking advantage of those moments and building upon those moments and being intimate and being together is not something that always comes easily, and therefore, as being said, is very, very important for the Jewish people mentioned here. Continuing with the last sort of phrase in this section, V'chitech hayayin hatov holech lidodi lemesharim dovev siftei yishenim. Your mouth is like the choicest wine. Let it flow to my beloved as new wine, gliding over the lips of those who are sleepers, right? Nobody else is going to know. We're in private. We're together. Nobody else is going to be there and see this intimacy. We have all of these people are trying to get in the way of the relationship between God and the Jewish people, but we will be together. And then we have the final few verses. One more, and then the final few verses. In verse 11, Ani ledodi va'alai tishukato. I am my beloved, and his desire is for me. And then lechadodi. Hasadeh nalinu bakfarim. Come, my beloved, let us go into the open, let us lodge amongst the henna shrubs. Okay, so we've talked about us being intimate, but now let's go out in public. Let's go out. It's enough of being in the private. Let's go out in public. Let's be together, doing the things that we have to do in public. Nashkim alakramim nireh im tarcha gefen itach hasmadar heinetzu arimonim. Sham etain et dodai lach. Let's go out to the vineyards. Let's see if the vine has flowered, if its blossoms have opened, if the pomegranates are in bloom. There I will give my love to you, right? It's enough. So we talk about being intimate, but let's make it, in a sense, let's make it public. Let's go out together. Let's everybody know about our love that we have together is what she is saying to him. Let's show our commitment. Let's show our renewal. Let's show it out there where everybody is going to see it. Hadodaim natu reach. V'al pitachenu kol migadim chadashim gam yishanim dodi tzafanti lach. The mandrakes yield their fragrance, right? It's going to smell beautiful. At our doors are all the choice fruits in this beautiful field will be at, both freshly picked and long stored. Have I kept my beloved for you, right? I've kept all these things that I have. I've kept all these things that you want, and I have all of them. I have all of them here for you. So let's go and let's show everybody the beauty that we have together. Interestingly here, right? We have this word dudaim, these mantras, exactly what it is. We know from an earlier story in the Torah, story of Rachel and Leah, where Reuven brings them home to Leah, and Rachel has no kids and asks if she can have them. Maybe she thinks some sort of early Viagra or something, like early early fertility treatments. Exchange Leah gets to be with Yaakov for that evening. And so here the Dudaim, they yield their fragments, and it's a sense of this love between this two. And what's interesting, we talk about that story where we have Yaakov and his torn and the difficulty with his two wives, with Rachel and Leah, and here we have God and the Jewish people. It's just the relationship between a husband and a wife, between partners, this relationship, God and the Jewish people. And there's no argument about sort of about the mandrakes. It's God and the Jewish people, and all due respect to the other nations of the world. This is a book about the love, not with these others, but between God and the Jewish people in the allegory. And thus, there's no question about the Dudaim, who should have them, who they should be with. It is for God and the Jewish people to come out together and show this love, that now that they've had this intimate moment as they desire in the earlier verses, now they can come out and do it and show it publicly and see all the beauty that thus is out there for the two.